Jeez Christ. I was in dreamland, Frank. I was dreaming that Taker and Sting were fighting at WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
Jeez Christ. I want to go back. Why the hell did you have to wake me up? Oh, we got to do this. Never mind. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Tiring day. But luckily, I get to talk to this guy. I have fun talking to you, Frank. This shit's fun, man.
Oh, definitely. Talking about all the disappointments.
Not all disappointments. I mean,
No.
not all of it is disappointing. I like looking back on the old stuff. To a degree, someone likes to say, I live in the past. I like to live in the past sometimes. I like to think about Taker. I like to think about Kane, the Legion of Doom. But I find it funny that when someone tells me, when I talk about how Ziggler's not being booked right, Wyatt's not being booked right, I thought Bryan was being booked like shit for a while, they're saying, you're living in the past. Bray Wyatt wasn't in the WWE till 2013. Dolph Ziggler wasn't a character in WWE until, 2009? Bryan wasn't a serious WWE title contender until 2013, so I'm not living in the past. I'm living in the present, wanting good booking. That's all. Not living in the past, because...
Is it being a John Cena fan in 2015, living in the past?
I would say so, because he's been around long enough.
The guy's a fucking fossil in wrestling terms.
That's something I'm going to start using now, Frank. You want John Cena to win every match. You're living in the past. He had his time. Goodbye.
Yeah, how many times? How many championships? 15. Don't you haven't you had enough?
Oh, I want to fucking throw up.
And he's going to win number 16 very soon. I'm telling you.
I haven't ranted on Cena in a while, but I can tell you right now, if he wins that 16th world title, you're going to see a rant like you've never seen before, Frank. Because sorry.
You're going to see Ric Flair come out on Raw the next night and congratulate him.
And he's going to get booed out of the fucking building.
Now we're Ric Flair there.
He will. The fans booed when Bret Hart was giving him the fucking endorsement. They booed when The Rock endorsed him at WrestleMania 29.
Who knows? Maybe Ric Flair will tell the fans, shut up. This is the greatest champion.
Oh, God, stop.
You sit down, fat boy.
Listen to me. Nobody tells me who I'm supposed to like. Especially not that motherfucker.
Shut up, fat boy.
Hey, listen, I'm only 219 pounds.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm going along with it. I'm only 219 pounds, Nate. Jeez. Don't chop me. What were we supposed to get into, Frank? Oh, my God, I'm so dead. Oh, yeah, that's right. SummerSlam, which I will be attending 2 days after I meet God, a.k.a. The Undertaker. Still haven't decided what I'm going to have him sign. I still haven't decided what the fuck I'm going to say to him. I'm scared shitless. I'm hoping I don't have a meeting with him like I did with Punk, where Punk was a total...
Undertaker.
Total jerk-off. And I doubt he watches anything on YouTube at all that has to do with wrestling these days. But yeah, CM Punk, I paid $90 fucking to meet your ass, and you were complete...
When you meet the Undertaker, just talk to him like a regular person.
Complete douchebag. For no good goddamn fucking reason.
Yeah, now CM Punk, listen, some guys just don't like it.
Then don't be in the business! Then don't be in the business! It's part of your fucking life to have fans, dopey.
You know, he probably thinks that everybody's childish, all these guys are childish for being a fan, coming to...
But being a fan of him is the reason that he fucking made money.
Yeah, but he takes the money, though, right?
Oh, yeah, Punk loves the fans' money, but he doesn't like the fans' attention.
Right.
Fuck you, Phil Brooks.
Anyway.
But yeah, we're going to get into SummerSlam 2015, guys, because whether anyone wants to admit it or not, the road to WrestleMania starts that night, because that's when the rumors start to pop up. This match is going to happen. That match is going to happen. They're building to this. They're building to that. Frank brought up a poster that was leaked for SummerSlam, which featured, what was it, Frank?
There's two posters. There's one with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and then there's one with Roman Reigns and Triple H.
I don't foresee the Triple H Roman Reigns match happening. They haven't really done anything to build that. I mean, I would have thought that would have happened last year at SummerSlam, but it just didn't.
I would think it might be Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
That's the match I keep hearing, but is Triple H going to go for the belt, or is it going to be just a one-on-one match and Rollins is no longer going to be the champion?
Right. These are questions we're going to have answered.
No. And if Brock Lesnar has another match with Roman Reigns has to go heel for that. Because at WrestleMania, Reigns got booed right the fuck out of WrestleMania. And then you get people that say, oh, he got cheered at WrestleMania. I know, Frank. It's like, I think that we need to start distributing Q-tips very soon.
That match at WrestleMania between them, it was good. Towards the end, I was getting mad because what I actually thought, it looked like Lesnar was going to do the job.
Oh,
and that's why the crowd popped when Rollins came, because he saved that from happening.
Hey, listen, they could have had. Imagine if they would have had Ambrose in there. Ambrose going against Brock. And then Rollins cashed in and pinned Ambrose. Wouldn't that have made so much more sense?
Yeah, but listen, all the fantasy booking, it's until you match, you stare the guy up next to Brock, it's got to look believable. At least Reigns, he does look a little believable. But even him, he's supposedly one of the strongest characters on the roster. And he got obliterated.
But the whole point I'm trying to make is, I even said this on the page earlier. Everyone's jumping up and down about Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins being a great match. It's going to be a great match. But yet, Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan wouldn't have been believable. Seth Rollins has 0 mixed martial arts background. Bryan does. So Seth has.
Rollins could do a couple of moves. He's going to get his ass kicked.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be a funny ending in that match.
What are the odds that you and I could watch that match together, Frank?
What is this?
Battleground? Oh, I got to find out. It's a month
from now. It's exactly 4 weeks from now.
Well, let's try to get our calendars in sync, Frank, because I'd like to watch that one with you.
That'll be probably July 19th.
Sorry for yawning, ladies. I'm sorry for yawning, ladies and gentlemen. That's very rude. I'm so exhausted, to be very honest with you. And, yep, it is July 19th.
Yeah, who knows what's going to go off for SummerSlam? Next month they'll tell you everything they need to know,
And I can tell you, it's in Randy Orton country, St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, there's the first year in a while it hasn't been in L.A.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is that SummerSlam is going to be in Brooklyn, which is a pro wrestling town. I am expecting great things from that show. I don't know about you, but
that can't be a regular pay-per-view. That's gotta have at least three main event type matches.
Oh, it should. And you've said for months that Sting should get his win back from Triple H at SummerSlam.
Oh, well, yeah, but who knows if Sting even wants to come back and wrestle, if they even have a deal.
Oh, please, I'm hoping he wants to. Please, just have the match with Undertaker. I don't care who wins. I'm being selfish, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see that match. Yeah, so I don't know where they're going to go, especially with Sheamus holding the briefcase. And that's the one thing I can say I'm happy about. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want to know what's going to happen.
Well, like I said, he is going to be, if he does cash in, he's going to be the transitional champion.
Does Triple H...
He'll hold it for a month, and he's going to lose it. Does Rollins narrowly get by Brock with like a DQ, and then the Authority turns on Rollins, and then Sheamus cashes in? Maybe, who knows? I don't expect Brock to get the belt back.
No, he isn't.
Because they can't have him, holding the belt. And
more and more, and even my friend Joe Calabrese, who I'm going to give another shout out to. Thanks, Joe. Because I'm thinking the same thing. More and more, I'm starting to think that they're building up Kevin Owens to fight Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because looks like it's going to be The Rock and Triple H in WrestleMania. I would go for that. That would be a great match. That would be a great match.
I think Kevin Owens versus the modern-day Brock Lesnar would be a absolute brawl. I'm talking Stan Hansen versus Vader type shit.
Yeah, again, like I said, until you get into the ring with Brock.
You haven't been tested yet. Because Brock's a beast. He's a big boy. He don't give a shit.
Brock is he's just a couple levels.
He is what they called Rusev. He is a super athlete.
No, yeah, but he's just when he gets into the ring with somebody. Once he throws Owens around with a couple of suplexes.
And you know what's funny? Could you imagine Owens hitting Brock with a pop-up powerbomb and getting But could you imagine him hitting the pop-up powerbomb out of nowhere and getting the win? What does that do for Owens' career?
Oh, that would. Listen, Lesnar still hasn't been clean, so
since the streak. Since CM Punk. I'm wrong. Since he beat Triple H in the cage at Extreme Rules 2013, he has not been pinned clean.
Yeah, so he's going to get that one back to somebody. But it could be not this year. It could be next year.
Next year is WrestleMania 32, and I'll tell you something. If it's to Kevin Owens, maybe that'll be the night Kevin Owens busts out the package pile driver.
Who knows? Who knows?
Could you imagine he kicks out of... I'm just imagining it in my head. Kevin Owens hits Brock with... Maybe he does what he did to Sami Zayn. Not in the same fashion, because Brock's way bigger and way stronger, but he hits Brock with the pop-up powerbomb and he doesn't get the win. Then he hits Brock with another powerbomb and he hits him with another, and Brock just keeps getting up. And Kevin Owens is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do to this guy? And then when Brock is setting him up for an F5, Owens slips out, kicks him as hard as he can, and he hits him with the package pile driver. The crowd would erupt.
I think when the day comes that Lesnar loses clean, I think the crowd will go crazy.
Oh, yes. They will go nuts, because it'll be the first time in years that Brock's been beat. Because I don't see him getting beat this year.
I hope it's not going to be Cena who beats Lesnar.
Oh, Christ. You're just trying to get me started, Frank. It's not...
Listen, you know, Cena's got to win the feud. What if Lesnar wins and they could go back to the wall and have Lesnar versus Cena again? I doubt it, but who knows?
Frank's trying to give me a concussion because he knows when he mentioned Cena winning the belt that my palm's going to meet my head.
Listen, I don't mean to upset you, but I got to speak the truth. John Cena you think he's not going to win another belt soon? You got another thing coming to you.
He's had 15. He had his time in the sun. You have to build the future. WrestleMania 32 is where all the nostalgia acts go away.
When's the last time Cena held the belt?
SummerSlam 2014.
So it's been a year. So figure he might win the belt by Survivor Series, maybe Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble the last 3 years has been a disappointment, Frank. They need to make that Royal Rumble spectacular for the fans.
Who knows? Maybe he might win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
How many times has he won in his career?
Twice.
Oh, he can win it 3 times.
He shouldn't be tying Austin. What does he got to tie everybody's fucking record?
Listen, I'm telling you, by the time it's over, they're gonna book this guy as the greatest ever. He's gonna hold all the records. He's gonna hold all this. And I'm telling you, I could see him. I could see him headlining WrestleMania 32. He hasn't headlined or main event at WrestleMania in 2 years. So,
well, I could tell you right now, the Royal Rumble's going to be in Orlando, Florida. The same building that booed him out when he fought The Rock. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. It's ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of disappointment coming soon. When Roman Reigns wins the belt, Lesnar loses, Cena wins again.
I just don't get it, Frank. I don't get it.
If Sheamus wins the belt, we can see a Sheamus for the John Cena match for the Dalvin time. I think we should have been on that.
I just don't get it, and then you wonder why you don't create any new stars, because you have the same guys on top. We're getting a reprieve because Rollins has been in the main event with Ambrose and Reigns, even Orton.
What have we seen with Rollins? Have we seen the new stuff being created with Rollins?
In a way.
How? He's a punk.
But he's about to turn. But he's about to turn face, and if he has a match with Triple H, and Triple H puts the kid over, I say Triple H has to lose to Rollins clean with the Phoenix Splash.
Well, that's a pedigree.
Triple H ain't jobbing to his own move. He is not jobbing to his own move. But I think as a babyface, Seth Rollins should be using the Phoenix Splash. Because...
I don't know. Maybe they'll write that in that he can't use a pedigree.
Yeah, and he uses the Phoenix Splash as a finish because they're not going to let him use the curb stomp. Which, honestly, I'm okay with, because if he's going to turn face, that's fine. Because the curb stomp, to me, is a heel move.
Yeah, definitely.
The Phoenix Splash is babyface written all over it. Because it's an amazing move that I've only seen him do. And, yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with fucking Brock Lesnar, if that's the case. Is it going to be Brock Lesnar versus Sheamus for the WWE Championship?
Well, no, because why would you do that?
Because if fucking Rollins is facing Triple H and there's no belt involved, what's Brock going to do?
I have no idea. Maybe he goes up with it. You see the posters. He's Roman Reigns. Maybe Roman Reigns challenges him.
I don't know, Frank. There's a lot of question marks popping up about SummerSlam, and we'll probably have a better idea about what's going to happen at WrestleMania 32 after SummerSlam. Maybe.
Battleground.
Battleground is also, it's a couple weeks away, and, we're going to have to see what happens with that. But, I don't know. Creatively, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do. Which, honestly, I enjoy that aspect. I don't like knowing.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think they know what they're going to do.
Really?
I don't know. They're probably talking like we are. They probably have a lot of options on the table.
I think they missed a big opportunity with Ambrose and Reigns. Because you could have had Ambrose versus Reigns at Battleground, and then at the end you have Brock Lesnar show up and challenge Roman Reigns. Because the last time they were in the ring together, Brock was the champion and Reigns was the challenger. You have now reversed their roles. Plus, going into the event, Brock was the bad guy and Reigns was the babyface. You have now reversed their roles. It actually makes storyline sense. But, what do I know? I've only been watching for 20 years.
Yeah.
But,
anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for Frank and I. But before we end the show, we unfortunately received the sad news last week that the American Dream Dusty Rhodes passed away. And I grew up listening to The Dream on WCW commentary. But as I got more DVDs available to me and a couple more tapes available to me, I was able to see his matches with Ric Flair, his matches against the Horsemen, some of his matches with Terry Funk, matches with Harley Race. Dusty, and I'm pointing to it right now, was one of the best NWA champions of all time because the guy was an animal. Even at the weight he was at, the guy could go out there and wrestle for an hour. It was no problem. And I don't know. I feel bad. The Dream was a great competitor, and it's a shame that he passed away. And at the age of 69, which is very young. He's younger than all my grandparents. It's a sad thing, with Father's Day being this weekend. To anyone that no longer has their father, it's a shitty feeling, I'm sure. My dad hasn't been feeling well for a while, but I'm fortunate enough to have him. There's no greater gift that a child could have than to have their parents, and I'm lucky enough to have them both. And Dusty loved his kids. He loved Cody. He loved Dustin. I know that there was a period where he and Dustin didn't speak to each other, but I'm so glad they were able to reconcile and make up for lost time. And tell us, Frank, what are some of your favorite memories of the Dream?
Oh, the first time I really learned about Dusty Rhodes was from magazines. Because back then there was no. It was hard to get NWA. So
a lot of tape traders back then, right?
What's that?
A lot of tape traders back then, right?
No, that was I'm talking about even like when VCRs just first came out. It was very.
Oh, all right.
There was only like a couple of really videotapes out. There was Star '83, and then there was Lords of the Ring, which was an NWA card. And really, a lot of people would follow wrestling through the magazines, and I remember just seeing every month at the newsstand, I would read the magazine, and you'd see this big fat guy with curly, long blonde hair, and he always had the crimson mask, and I'd be like, wow, who is this guy? And it's like, he'd always be fighting Ric Flair, Paulie Race.
And what about the classics he had with Superstar Billy Graham?
Oh yeah, that was before my time when I was a kid. But yeah, he started.
Luckily for myself, when I got the Dreams DVD back in a couple years ago, almost said back in the day, it wasn't that long ago. It includes matches he had with Superstar Billy Graham. So if you're interested in seeing any of those matches, you get Dusty Rhodes.
I've seen them on YouTube. But yeah, those guys would cut promos against each other like crazy. They were ahead of.
I remember one of my favorite lines he ever used was. And I can't do Dusty's voice that well, but he said something to the effect of, "Superstar, I come a long way to whip your ass, boy." Man, he was Dusty was probably the king.
I particularly like his run in '87 when he came with the polka dots. I
thought that was around '89, '90.
Maybe 88, 89, but no, I mean, even for watching matches, a couple of matches in the magazines, this guy was a hardcore wrestler, blood.
Yeah, he was. He was great.
He's dancing in the ring. Oh God!
Think about this, Frank. Personally, for me, Dusty Rhodes was the first legend to put The Undertaker over, and it was on his debut night.
I don't know why we didn't get matches with Dusty Rhodes versus the Macho Man, Dusty Rhodes versus Hulk Hogan in WWE in the late 80s.
He faced Randy Savage at WrestleMania 6, but it was a tag match with Sapphire and Sensational Sherry.
Oh, God.
But I'll tell you this, though, and I've had some people tell me that were big fans of Dusty. They said that if Vince never got Hogan, but he would have got Dusty, it would have been the same thing. Because Dusty was a major star. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. Hulk Hogan just had the superhero look.
That's a fair argument.
You could have booked Dusty Rhodes as the American Dream, but he could have been a superhero, but Hulk Hogan was larger than life. Would you have had Dusty Rhodes versus Andre the Giant? No.
No, the only way it would have worked was if he would have got Andre somehow on the ground and hit him with the bionic elbow.
Yeah, no, see, that's what his Hulk Hogan just had. He looked like a real life superhero.
No, he did, but it's a sad day to know that Dusty Rhodes is no longer with us. We lost Dusty the same day that we lost the great Christopher Lee. For anyone that knows me, knows I am a huge fan of Count Dracula. I'm a big fan of the classic horror films, and that was a shitty day to lose both of them in the same day. And to the Dream, I say, Dust, thank you for War Games. I absolutely love that match. The style, I love it. Thank you for the feud with the Horsemen, which I've got a chance to look back on. It was fun. And thanks for great commentary, man. I mean, you know, I enjoyed the WCW commentary more than I enjoy any commentary from today's WWE product. I mean, today we started the show off by making fun of the commentators. Commentary today sucks. I'll take Tony Schiavone, Bobby Heenan, and Dusty Rhodes over Michael Pole, Michael Pole, and fucking JBL any day of the week. And I think Frank and I are going to wrap it up here. And to the Dream, rest in peace, sir. Godspeed.
American dream. He's just a common man, working hard with his